I want to give you some concrete examples of how the illusion of competence works. My wife and I go to a Honda dealership, and we go there for service. We go there to buy cars. We've dealt with a few people in particular, and every time we go to the Honda dealership, doesn't matter if we're buying or service, we're asked, hey, can you give us a 5-star review? And not only is it said, hey, can you give us a 5-star review, it is made very clear anything less than 5 stars is a bad thing. In other words, when William says in the service department, please give me a 5-star review, he says, if it's less than that, don't give me one, because I'm just going to have to explain why it wasn't a 5-star service. And that happens all over. Every time you visit Honda, they ask for that 5-star review and that 5-star review only. You go to Honda's website, all they brag about is all the 5-star reviews that they get. We have 4,000 5-star reviews. We have 5,000 5-star reviews. Those reviews don't reflect the service they actually give. Those reviews reflect their ability to get reviews. So they craft the illusion that you're going to get good service, that you're going to have a good time at the dealership. And they do it in this strategy. I'll talk about this more later. But what they do is they try to use quantity over quality to increase quality. My wife and I had to put my mother-in-law in a rehab center because she cracked her knee. And my wife was shopping around trying to find, well, where are we going to put her at to, for her to recover? And my wife found this place that it was the highest rated in the area that was close by. It was like a 4.7 stars. And my wife was like, okay, we're going to go with this place. The first time that we check in, you have to put in your information. 5 feet from walking away, I get a text. Hey, it's the rehab place. Give us a review. I'm sitting in my mother-in-law's hospital room. A couple hours later, I get another text. Hey, it's at the rehab center. Give us a review. We were there for 2 weeks. Basically, my wife and I, we'd show up every day for 2 weeks. Morning, noon, and night, they would send us requests for those reviews. And the only time those requests would stop is when you actually did a review, because you can only do one and amend it, if you will. I started thinking, I was like, and my wife did too, was this really the best place to put my mother-in-law? And she had a good experience, don't get me wrong. The place was fine. But were they better at giving service, or they were better at giving the review? And that's what you have to ask yourself. But from the company standpoint, again, quantity over quality to improve quality. That's the strategy when it comes to those Google reviews. And the best example I can think of right offhand is the QR code. Companies love to use the QR code to get your opinion. I can go to a medical office, I can go to a grocery store, I can go just about any place and see a QR code that's linked to a review. I was at my local liquor store a couple of weeks ago, and don't judge me, but when I was at the local liquor store, walking up to the front, there's a QR code as big as a street sign saying, how did we do? And of course, I'm thinking the alcohol was really good, 80 proof. It was outstanding. But they asked for your review. I can give you a personal example. The last place I worked at one point, our Google reviews was at 3.1. And the reason companies do this is because we all know the most likely person to complain, or the most likely person to leave a review, is the person that has a complaint, because they want their voice to be heard of, hey, I had a bad experience here. People generally don't write reviews when they have a good experience, because that's what they expected. That was the bar they set to start with, was I hope I have a good experience when I go to this place. When the company meets that bar, reaches that bar, they haven't done anything special. So your complaining person is the most likely person to write the review. At my last job, we got little business cards. We posted QR codes all over the store. In the course of 6 months, our store went from a 3.1 to a 4.6 in Google review scores. And in fact, it was the highest increase of all the stores. It was the highest increase point-wise in that 6 months period. The level of service did not change. Nothing changed at all about the level of service. The only thing that changed was the company's strategy of quantity over quality to improve quality. Because you see, when you do this strategy of flooding the system with positive reviews, the first thing it allows you to do, it alleviates you of the responsibility of fixing whatever the complaint was. Because instead of addressing the complaint and saying, hey, I'm sorry you had this bad experience, we're going to fix it. Instead, they present it to the world at large as, look at all these outstanding reviews we have. We have some excellent reviews. These ones over here, don't worry, but those are outliers. You don't have to worry about those. Focus on the 5,000 that we already have. Focus on all the outstanding service that you're getting based on these 5-star reviews. It's not the service that's outstanding. It's the ability to get the review that's outstanding. And if you're an employee, you'd have to ask yourself, well, if the company is willing to project this illusion onto their customers, and they spend a lot of money to create in advertising and everything they do, forward facing and even behind the scenes, creates that illusion that they're a responsible company. And that's what they're trying to do. So as an employee, you have to ask yourself, well, if they're willing to do that for the customer, surely they wouldn't do that